Sumo! One Sumo. Let's go.
Stretch it out. Warm up, like a workout. Back in it. 3, 2, 1, boom. Welcome back to the catch up with Bryan Sumardi, where I just get curious about things and I interview people. Bam! Today I have my special guest is Miguel Ortiz.
Yo.
He is. I don't know how to explain you, to be honest. I know you're like government security, but I don't know if
I do
say that.
I'm a federal contractor. I do security work for agencies.
3-letter agencies that we can't speak of. I don't know.
Letters.
Maybe I'm not even allowed to say that.
Something like that. I just do intel and like physical security with them.
And this is Anabelle, his daughter. She's super calm. I think she likes being on camera. But you competed in bodybuilding, physique?
I did
What's your thing?
I did 2 bodybuilding shows.
Uh-huh.
And in my second show I did 2 classes. So I did a bodybuilding class and a physique class.
Okay.
So
and how'd you do?
I did in the second competition. It was a drug-free competition.
Okay.
So I kind of fared a little bit better in that one.
Okay.
Politics were
any specific organization do you think was better than the others? Let's talk about a little bit of that.
Not that I think one is better than the other, but just kind of what your
plans or goals,
kind of what you're looking for in goals. Obviously, in the open competition, which is not drug free, it's a little more competitive. They don't check on who's using what or there's a lot of natural bodybuilders and athletes there, so it's obviously the numbers are larger. Versus NGA, when I did NGA, it was honestly about a third of the contestants, and
so NGA is smaller.
NGA was,
and then that's the drug tested one.
And that's the drug test.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I did a drug test. I think I just did a poly.
Poly.
Yeah, I think I just did a poly.
But then they asked you about
a small little 8-question like drug poly. I mean, it was like 2 minutes long, 5 minutes long. Maybe.
Is that just to get the organization or to like go in the contest?
That was to win the contest.
Oh, that's weird.
The organization, you had to pay a fee. It's like $100. This is crazy. It's like $100 for like the year.
Yeah,
that's another reason why I started competing too, because it's just so expensive. So it's like $100 for the year.
Yeah.
So now you become an NGA member.
Right.
So now for the duration of that year, you can compete.
But you also got to pay
as many as you like. But you also got to pay the contestant fees, the class fees, whatever fees you gotta pay for the comp.
Yeah.
But as soon as the year is over, you gotta renew it, and then you can't compete until you renew that membership. So it gets costly. I mean, the tan and everything. But I just took a break from it all. NGA, in just amateur, I placed first in physique, and second, I believe it was second or third. Man, honestly, I don't remember. Second or third in bodybuilding. My first comp was NPC. I set that bar way, way fucking high, and it was an experience.
Okay.
If I can say, kind of 7 or 8 weeks before that show.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and prep for the show. So I educated myself. I try to do as to the best of my abilities a diet, I guess, so I can kind of shred down any remaining fat.
When you said education and you educate yourself, what did you do, like specifically? Like, what did you look into?
I try to stick to some basics and principles, and at the beginning it was a little frustrating because I was not necessarily over educating myself, but I was giving myself too much knowledge that I was confusing myself. You know, I had this training plan, then I had this training plan. You know, I had this diet plan, and
You give yourself too many options.
I gave myself too many options, and you know, I didn't know. I tried to break down the options, which suited me. I was working crazy hours at the time, and it was one of those things where I wanted to do it, and I was gonna do it regardless.
Right.
So I was gonna make things work, no matter how much money I had on hand, no matter how much time I had on hand, no matter how much sleep I was getting. And I managed to do it. Honestly, my first comp, my prep was like 90-second Uncle Ben's rice, rotisserie chickens from Giant Safeway. Like, I would grab that shit and tear it apart, throw it in containers.
Yeah.
Time-wise, I would even cut a whole cucumber. I cut a cucumber in half, and like I'll stuff that thing in the container.
There you go.
Like I wouldn't chop up no tomatoes. I eat tomato like it was an apple.
Like, I always thought that's interesting to me when people talk about how difficult it is to meal prep. Like, people make it too complicated. Like you said, you did minute rice, where you just have a container, you warm it up in the microwave for a minute, just drop it in the container. You have rotisserie chicken, just rip that piece apart. Did you weigh it too or no?
I eyeball everything. I didn't weigh anything. So I think the way I was approximating everything was a whole chicken was. I can't remember the numbers because I got so used to a routine.
Yeah.
It became second hand, and
but then how did you learn it initially? Like, if you did
initially, I learned it because
the fist test?
It told me how many servings was
in the chicken. Okay.
So then I split that up between
mentally,
whether I have a whole chicken here,
4 servings, 8 servings, something like that.
Right. So I'll split it down to how many meals I had that day, or I approximated and try to get a kind of a baseline.
Okay.
So then I can either add more, I can take away more, just depending on the plan. The chicken flavor, that was my favorite one. The chicken flavor, Uncle Ben's rice, 90 seconds, bomb, 2 servings. I think
the orange bag.
Yeah, the orange bag. Yeah, that shit's lit. But I did it that way because I was commuting to work. I was working then about 60 hours a week, and it was just a pain in the ass. And I already set my mind. I paid for the fees and everything, so I said, hey, there's no going back now. I would just spill the beans. I told a few people at work, hey, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And, you know.
He's like accountability.
I didn't think I was like the fittest guy, but everybody was like, yeah, you do. You're good. You know, kind of boosting my motivation. I was like, damn. You know, here come day of. I'll tell them, nah, I didn't do it. I'm gonna call out that day or something like.
Yeah, you just like disappoint yourself more than anybody else.
So I went ahead and pushed, and I told myself, you know, one of the biggest things, and Arnold was one of my biggest motivations, and he was in one of his documentaries. He was talking about how you know, sometimes he got 6 hours, sometimes he got 4 hours. He didn't always sleep well. Right. You know, if you're gonna get 6 hours, you're gonna get 6 hours. He said, sleep fast for 6 hours. So he just said, if you're gonna sleep a little bit, just sleep it fast.
So you get back to work.
Now thinking about it, I'm like, what the hell? Like, what does that even mean? Yeah. And to this day, I probably still don't know what exactly it means, but I just know, hey, his point being is, if you're gonna sleep, you know, 4 or 6 hours, that is what you're gonna get. So stop questioning how many hours of sleep, you need for this, for that. Right. If that's what's there, you can't change that.
I see it in 2 ways. For me, it was like I think I saw the same documentary, and when he said sleep fast, it was just mean like, just get it, get back to work. So it's always like that grind mentality that I've always seen Arnold like in his movies, in his like government stuff, and just him as personality wise, especially on the documentary. And then other than that, it was another way for him not to make excuses. And that I don't know if that caught, but another way to not make excuses, because it's like, all right, I just need sleep and then back on the grind. Right. It's like kind of like what you just said. Like if you're gonna sleep, get your rest, come back, and don't question it.
Right. Don't look back. Just keep pushing through. Because if you sit there and you think about a decision you made, you're gonna sit there, and then time's gonna pass, and then it's gonna influence you to make other decisions off of haste.
It's like paralysis by analysis type of thing.
Right.
When you overthink things.
Yeah. So then there were days where I was like, oh, man, I'm really beat. Am I gonna go straight home and I'm just gonna call it a day off today?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, especially being in the military, and I was
Also,
younger
yeah.
then, so like I'm used to not sleeping, and honestly, that sleep kind of didn't really hit me until
Sleep deprivation, didn't it?
yeah, it didn't really hit me until maybe I was like 25. I was like, yo, I started feeling older, but like under that, I would tell myself, I was like, I can't go to sleep and expect to really grow muscle if I'm not spending that time in the gym.
Okay.
Because if I'm in the gym and I'm training my muscle, then I go sleep, I'll recover whatever I recover in that amount of sleep.
Right.
But if I skip the gym completely, I'm not going to hit them sets and reps in my sleep.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not, so if I had to choose, push an hour which way, I'll take away an hour from sleep, and I'll get that in my training. And I think one of the biggest things, too, was I was working in Arlington, so I would always work out at Henderson Hall over in Arlington.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Marine gym. Man, this gym was clean. The equipment, they had every piece of equipment that I would want. It never really got too busy. They had all this motivation around the wall. So that kind of
set the tone.
Set the tone. Like, I really, really enjoyed going to that gym. And there was a point where my hours were split. I'll go in from 7:30 to about 3:30, and then I'll have to be back by 5:30.
Yeah.
So I'd move like I moved with a purpose. So I go over. It was 5 minutes over. I go over. I work out for an hour, and then I shower, change, and then head back to work by 5:30. Then I'm out of work by 9:30, about 9:30, and go home.
You were doing 12-hour shifts, basically?
Yeah, about 12 hours.
And then that's what? How many days a week? Monday through Friday? Even weekends sometimes?
At that period, it was Monday through Friday, and then that contract had opened up a new building, so then our hours had changed. So then I had to get used. Yeah, so then my new hours were from 6. Well, going to this competing phase, it was from 6 to 2, or sometimes till 6.
Oh, 6 to 2 is pretty good.
Yeah, but getting to work at 7:30 is a lot different than getting to work at 5:30.
Yeah,
to get work at
for
6.
sure.
Like, that hour and a half makes a huge difference, and you don't really see it, but it just changes everything. And I was just like, I dealt with it. I would prefer to work out in the morning and get it out the way.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I'm so used to working out in the afternoons that I feel the mental push that I have to do versus just waking up and starting at a clean slate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hit the gym versus working all damn day, dealing with this, dealing with that, being tired, being fatigued, eating shitty food, maybe eating good food, and then the day coming to the end, you're like. Luckily, I always work in Virginia, and I've lived in Maryland for a good while, and I always had that traffic there, so I'm really not a traffic kind of guy.
No one is.
That option was never really there for me. It was like, I'm just going to kick it here. Even on my off days, I'll avoid traffic. I'd go get a session in, even if it was off day, I'd go hit my abs, or I'll go hit calves, and I'll go have dinner.
So speaking about training-wise, how did you learn how to train? Do you just do it intuitively?
Man, I did it just like everybody. Okay, I went to
Bro Split.
First I went to Google. Man, Google gave me all the knowledge I needed. Bodybuilding.com, everything I needed. Yeah. So I just broke it down to what works for me.
Right.
And then when it came to training,
how long did it take you to test all that stuff?
The biggest thing was before I educated myself in that competitive bodybuilding physique.
So before you wanted to start competing, you kind of had to figure yourself out first.
I guess I would say I was pretty fit from the military perspective, from the military side.
Okay.
So I felt myself pretty fit, pretty athletic.
I was lean from running all the time, coming out of boot camp and SOI.
Like my pull-ups were solid, man. I was hitting at that time anywhere between 25 to 35 pull-ups, strict Marine Corps pull-ups, not them shitty
Kipping.
halfway down type stuff. Nah, like legit ones. But at this time, I was living in Alexandria, and that's when I realized like I was using. I think their biggest weights were like 60 pounds.
At the gym over there?
Yeah, and I wasn't a weightlifter then. I wasn't. That was the apartment complex.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't a gym head at that point.
Yeah.
That's when I used to live in front of that BJ's.
Yeah, I remember that.
There, and like I wasn't a. Was it that one? Yeah, that was the one. So I wasn't like a big lifter there. I was more of just I go to the gym so I can stay fit. Kept a routine, and I really had no plan. And I think it wasn't until people kept asking me, I think at that time I was also 155. It's like, hey, are you like an MMA fighter? Hey, do you compete? Do you do this? And I would always like, no. I was just a lean guy. Like I wasn't even big at that time. I was just lean.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no. So then I moved back to Maryland. And that's when I started going back to LA Fitness in Wheaton.
Yeah.
So once I started messing with the bigger boy weights, and
it just got addictive.
Yeah, and then dealing with all the and Wheaton, they had all these gym heads, and all these meat heads were like, oh, I kind of knew a lot of the folks there, so that people always want to train together.
Right.
So like I said, at that time I wasn't as focused on it.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So kind of having that group kind of helped start
support, like a support system. Yeah.
My
journey,
as you can say, for weightlifting.
Okay.
And then I started learning things from other people, and then I actually really soaked in everything that I was getting. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it.
Right.
So that's when I decided. And training wise, when I realized what was working, I was really paying mind to what I'm doing and paying strict and like close attention to, hey, if I'm hitting curls, like am I really feeling it in my bicep?
Right.
And reading here and there on how to do it, what you should be feeling, what you shouldn't be feeling. Like I kind of try to hone in on everything.
Yeah.
And little by little, my first year, man, I was just like freestyling. And then second year, I was just kind of trying to correct what, I learned the first year.
Yeah.
And then just every year was just something different. So now at the point where...
How long did it take you to go from that when you first started to when you started competing? Year? 2 years?
I want to say within the first year...
Uh-huh.
I was at the same weight.
Yeah.
But
so you stayed the same weight.
A lot bigger.
Okay. So
I had a lot more muscle mass.
Right. Because I feel like that's a big misconception when I find, like for me, like weight loss clients, like they normally stay at the same weight they're at, but their body composition changes completely. Like they're, like I said, the same weight, but then they look leaner.
So that
even if they're trying to lose weight.
Yeah, that was another thing too. So when I was working out with the apartment complex weights, I would eat, but I wasn't eating as much. Those were my broke boy days. Like I had no money. I was eating like tuna cans, man, like ramen. I was broke.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really eating as much as I really wanted to, or as much as I would have thought that would have worked for my training.
Right.
So when I moved back to Maryland, I think that was the biggest push, only because I was hitting the bigger gym.
Yeah.
And then I was
supported.
I was eating.
Oh.
I was feeding myself because I wasn't paying for the $1,400
apartment
over in Alexandria. So now I had more money to eat with, and then my mother was down the block. So then I go over there, and my grandmother would feed me all the time.
You were living at your mom's house? You moved back?
No, that's when I moved at my uncle's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then I was at my uncle's house. So I'd eat there.
Yeah.
And I would eat there also because my cousins yo, Jonathan and Kevin,
Oh.
Jennifer. Yo, these guys order Pizza Hut, Domino's all the time. They go over to Popeyes.
It's right across the street.
Yeah, they always have food. So I was lifting heavier. Like I had,
you had a lot of energy.
I was lifting heavier, and now I was supplementing my training with not the best of food, but more food,
calories.
more macros, more calories, more proteins, more carbs, and that was all going to go towards its proper place.
Right.
So because I was eating there, and then I go, 2 blocks up, and my grandmother wouldn't let me leave the house without sitting down and eating something. I was freaking pounding food. So because I was so active at work, and with my training, all that went to like mass. I didn't really gain a gut from that. Right. I was already lean. Yeah. So my metabolism was hella high. The more muscle mass you have, or the more muscle fat ratio you have, the more you're gonna burn per workout. So I had that going for me.
So like in hindsight, you basically, this is how I would, if I would train, or if I would explain the process of to be a bodybuilder or just to be fit in general. You spend a year of learning, experimenting, try to get yourself together. This is from a lean perspective. You're already lean. Your process is a little bit, I'm not gonna say easier, but then it's structured, it's a little more structured. You take a year to experiment, and then you become a little more strict and understand yourself in training, and then you kind of work your diet in, because then you kind of give a baseline on diet, and then you spend like, I want to say at least your third year, you kind of still keep gaining mass instead of trying to get like a 6-pack, and then you lean out. You say that? So like about 4-year plan?
I'll say it would be something similar to that. More than anything, I think it's just depending on what's going on in your life.
Okay.
What's going on in your life.
So you think you can achieve that quicker for like a beginner?
If you're a beginner, your body is just going to respond. Your body has nothing to do but respond. So as a beginner, and I think that's something when I first really started lifting, I think my body just reacted so well, so fast to it because everything was brand new to me. Right. And then after, you've done this, you've done that, you yourself, you see the minor details that you have to work on. Right. That others may not see at that stage, at their point, how you see it, from your perspective. Yeah. So, you can see when somebody's gaining 20, 30 pounds. Right. But I know the difference between
a good 20 and
a solid 182 and like a solid one, like a bulked up 185. Like,
where are you at right now?
Right now I'm probably 178.
178?
Or 178.
And you probably started at what? You said 150? 155?
Yeah, 155. If you really want to go in detail, high school I was 135.
Yeah. Oh damn. Okay. And that's at what? You said 5'7", 5'8"?
5'5".
5'5"? Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it's 135. Then, man, went to boot camp, come back, 155. Got back from Cali.
I came back boot camp at 135.
Did you go up?
I went down.
How the hell did you
I was 145 boot camp. SOI came back I lost 10 pounds.
Bruh, boot camp, hey, you want your eggs? Like, let me get that granola bar. Let me get that.
We had no time to eat. My guide was like, we're done. Like, he literally ate like 2 bites. Done. We never had that.
I gotta do that. Depends on the guy that we had. We had a couple guys that did that. Just to kind of kiss ass. There was one other guy.
We had one guide basically for the entire time. The same one.
One of my guys, Ortiz. He was another Ortiz. He was he's the man. He will take some freaking he'll take some peanut butter. Chewed out. No, he'll take getting chewed out
to let everyone else.
Yeah,
eat.
To let everyone else.
That's a good ass leader.
That is a motherfucker right there. Yeah, and that's why he graduated. Top.
Oh really?
Yeah, he did.
Nice.
So I was like, that was good shit.
How big was your platoon in boot camp?
Bruh.
My
platoon started off with, I think, 39 recruits.
39?
39 recruits.
Oh, shit.
4 drill instructors and 1 senior.
That's a lot.
We had 5 drum instructors total on our asses. By the end of the cycle, I think we only had 32 that graduated.
Oh shit! I think mine was like 50, 55, and I think we ended up like 47, something like that. Yeah.
But how many drum instructors?
We had one senior, one drill, one kill, and then like a junior drill instructor. So 4 total.
My ass got lit up. My run time went down drastically. My pull-ups, like
My time got up. My run time definitely went up.
Within 3 months, I was very surprised how my run time,
Got better.
Went down. Got better, yeah.
So
how my run time got better. How I gained so much mass.
Yeah.
Because looking back to the pictures, it wasn't. I didn't look muscular when I got back.
No,
I was just bigger bodied.
I was definitely scrawny.
But I was fucking running. I mean, the training they put you through, I was running hella fast. I was knocking pull-ups. I was eating them joints. And I was just heavier.
I started pull-ups, I think, at 13. Like 13 pull-ups when I got right before I went to boot camp. But then I came out with 20.
That was 20 only?
Yeah, I mean, my 20 was the thing. I'm like
13, 20. Yeah. I think I started off 19 and 20.
19. Fuck
yeah,
you.
19. I'm pretty sure it was 19 for the IST, which pissed me off because I couldn't hit that 20, so I didn't get that black shirt.
I didn't even know we got a black shirt for that.
You get a black shirt with the 20, so I was a little blown about that.
Everyone gets the blue shirt, right?
Yeah, everybody gets the blue shirt.
The
and I couldn't
shirt.
get that 20 pull-up shirt because I hit 19, not 20. Missed about 1.
I sometimes that's the worst. Like just knowing you just had that little bit more.
Yeah,
it'd have been perfect.
Hey, look out for her brother. But I mean,
also you could got up like halfway or like.
I think I got at least halfway.
Okay, and then you just didn't want to call it. Integrity.
Integrity.
Lie. Marines don't lie, cheat, or steal, right?
Call it. But see, it was there that I learned to eat fast. Also, speaking of integrity, I was one of the guys that jacked peanut butter from the chow hall. And man, that was the worst day ever. Because let me tell you, I was slick. I'm a slick motherfucker. Okay, I took the peanut butter. I eat my peanut butter at night. Like I was trying to do the most.
I couldn't
wrap
do that.
it up. I wrap it up in toilet paper. And
put in your cargo pocket.
No. I wrap it up in toilet paper and I'll hide it in my what are boxes called?
I know what you're talking about. I keep calling them. I think the shoe boxes.
Yeah, the shoe boxes.
The lock box.
The lock boxes.
I don't know.
In our boxes, I'll throw them in the corner. So like, whenever
6 years ago.
Yeah, whenever it would like rack up, I'll just throw it in like I stuck my hand, throw it in the back of in the bottom of the trash bin, right?
Okay.
So. Ain't never gonna go to the trash. Like, really? Like, he's not gonna go to the trash.
Wait, so you come back to the squad bay and then you went straight to your little lockbox?
No, I just.
Or where did you put the?
This was at the end of the night. At the end of the night.
Oh.
I would put it in.
So
my
you
box.
have it in your pockets
at night.
time.
I have my pockets. But at night, I'll when it's time to rack out.
Yeah.
I'll eat my crackers and peanut butter while in bed or something.
Crackers? Where'd you get crackers from?
They had crackers too, there, right? Did they have crackers?
I don't remember crackers.
Peanut butter.
Nah, I don't remember crackers. For like breakfast? Maybe for the soup in the evenings. I don't even remember.
Maybe it was only peanut butter. I put peanut butter on something though.
Nah,
I don't know, but
with bread.
But it was peanut butter. I had peanut butter. Point is, I had peanut butter. And so I wrap it up in toilet paper and I throw it in the bottom of the trash that we had at the end hatch.
Okay.
One day we were over there doing classes and whatnot.
Someone knocked the trash over.
Somebody was fucking up. This drill instructor got so mad. He got up, kicked that trash can over. Trash goes all over the fucking place.
Peanut butter all over.
Like, this guy, pissed off drill instructor. I look over there on the floor. I'm like, holy shit. Dude, this motherfucker, all this trash, he only spots a tenth of the peanut butter wrapper that is sticking out of the toilet paper.
What?
He goes over, picks it up.
What the fuck is this?
He's like, what the fuck is this? He's fucking, going into the recruits, freaking running around. This guy's like, hit it. I'm like, oh My heart is like racing, yo.
Who did this?
I'm like, today's my fucking day. But more than anything,
You owned up to it?
More than anything, the shit that they were making us go through.
Yeah.
At that instant, I automatically felt like I fucked up. You know, the fact that I took the peanut butter from that child hall, something so small like that.
Yeah.
But all the values and everything they were teaching us,
Yeah.
and everything everything they really wanted us to be.
Yeah.
I really felt like at that instant I fucked up. Like I'm down there and like they're busting my ass and I stole peanut butter. I stole peanut butter. Like,
even though they give it to us.
And then he's like, who did it? Who did it? I'm like, everybody's like looking at me, I was like, I ain't saying shit.
Yeah.
And then it started sinking in. I was like, oh fuck. And he's like, okay, everybody up, everybody down. Okay, halfway up, halfway down. Started fucking us. I was like, okay, right here. Like
this recruit did it.
Yo, they lit me.
What year was this?
This is 2010.
You went in 2010? Yeah, because I went in 12. Okay.
Yo, they lit me up, and I never did it again. And then they, at the end, when we was cool with the drill instructors, you know, a Marine Week, you know, it was like, you motherfucker, you a brave motherfucker. I steal peanut butter. And he was like, we should have. I think he was joking.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people have done it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody does. It was like, good thing we ain't kick you out.
That's a lot.
Man, to get kicked out the whole time.
Nah, they wouldn't kick you out. They probably recycle you though. Put you in the next class. That would suck.
That would have sucked.
Was this like beginning? Like first phase?
I think this was like second phase.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is that what? Shooting?
No,
range?
It was before the gun range. It was before gun range. Was second phase gun range?
I think so.
Not the whole.
Cause I remember third was
between first and
drill.
second. Between first and second.
Okay.
And after that, like, honestly, going through that whole boot camp, you know, being out in Cali, kind of honing that title.
Yeah.
Like, changed everything when I came back. And, you know, sometimes I think it's that mindset that I got from that I use in my training.
For discipline.
For the discipline and, you know, keeping the consistency there, you know, setting my mind on something.
Yeah.
You know, a mission, you know, I'm gonna break it down to what I need for this mission, how I'm gonna execute this mission. And
what
just
is that
get
called?
it done. BAMSIS.
BAMSIS, yeah. What does
it mean?
I was gonna say I don't remember, to be honest. I'm horrible.
Come on, brother.
I know OODA loop.
Man.
OODA loop is
observe,
orient, decide, and action. Is action? Yeah. Okay.
Action. I don't remember any of these acronyms.
No. Do you know BAMSIS?
BAMSIS begin, assess,
measure,
mission.
Because
remember, this is BAMS you say before you go out on the mission, so then I give you the mission. C is command and logistics.
CIC? BAMCIC?
Yeah.
Or SIC?
BAMCIS.
CIS. So, what's the C?
Command.
I'm about to look this up real quick. You keep trying to figure it out, though. No?
Begin. Damn.
BAMSIS.
Yeah.
I don't think it's CIC. Marines. Yeah, okay, so BAM is BAMCIS.
Oh, yes.
Begin planning,
yes,
arrange.
That's what I said.
Begins right. Begin planning, arrange for reconnaissance, make reconnaissance, complete the plan, issue the order, and then supervise.
Okay.
So it's BAMCIS, begin, arrange, complete, issue, and then supervise.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. But I use that to kind of build
a plan.
And honestly, you can use that in everything nowadays. Yeah. And I kind of feel like the way you treat fitness is the same way that fitness lifestyle It's like you can use it at work, you can use it at home, you can use it on anything, you know. As long as you truly want to do it, you know, you're not feeling obligated to do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it with passion. You're gonna do it because you want to do it.
Okay.
Versus being pushed into doing something half-ass because, quite honestly, you don't want to be there.
Right.
You know, and like I'm one of those people that sometimes I sit back and I just watch around. You know, and I've always done that. I just sit back and I just observe.
Yeah.
I just observe, and
so whenever a situation happens, you're just ready for it.
Yeah, and
I feel the same way. I think it's a Marine thing now.
You know, it's one of those things where you gotta make actions.
Right.
You know, you can't sit there
and just hope for things to happen.
And just hope for things to happen.
Yeah.
Like, shit is not gonna be brought to you. You know, you can't expect things to turn out in your favor all the damn time because you put in no work.
What do you think about miracles? Like, I think miracles happen, but you have to kind of set it up too, in terms of work, or I guess like success. Like success happens only when you put in the work, and like really good success is like crazy sometimes.
You do have to put the work in for success to happen.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, this is gonna get all like
philosophical.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But at the end of the day, you're going to be where you're supposed to be no matter what.
So it's like a fate thing. You believe in fate?
Yeah, I believe in fate. You know, fate. You're going to do your end from your end, I guess you need to sort of hit those requirements.
Okay.
So then when you hit that part in your life, you have to be ready, or not.
Everyone has potential, but it just depends how fast you get there.
Everyone has the potential.
Yeah.
Everyone has the potential. I just don't think that everybody's
reaches it.
Lazy. Yeah. Everybody has excuses. Everybody has other things in sight.
Prioritization has really helped me a lot. An organization from the Marine Corps, but I think that would be the biggest issue with today's people.
Like everybody has it, and the only difference between the people that make it, the people that become successful off of this and that, is because they set the priorities straight.
Right.
Okay. They made the plan, and once they had their eyes on the end goal of things, or maybe not the end goal, but
whatever
the objective that they want to hit.
Right.
You know, they hit that, and that motivated them to shoot even higher.
Right.
Everybody else gets distracted, and I will tell you from my personal experience, I get distracted all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Oh, my fitness, if anything, I can say my training.
Yeah.
Is there, like, I get 60 minutes. Maybe I do 10 minutes of cardio 3 times a week. Like my training is there. Like as soon as I walk through them doors, I clock in, I put my work in, and then I roll out. You know, every now and then I get distracted in there. You know, I have my 1 or 2 days, very rarely, but I have my 1 or 2 days while I'm in there. Like I just mentally, I'm not there.
Right.
And more than often, I'll still have a good workout that specific day.
Right. Like bad days happen, but you still got to put in the work.
But you still got to put in that work, and it's those days that make the difference.
Right.
And it's those days where you differentiate, you know, the folks who aren't going to make it, the folks who aren't cut out for that lifestyle, the folks that aren't cut out to enjoy that, because they want to take shortcuts, you know, and they just don't see it the way I see it, the way you would see it, the way somebody else sees it. Now, they might have another passion for, like, I don't know, like DIY or like fucking,
one thing that was interesting,
like
it was I had a conversation with John Raimundo, another guy that was on the podcast. Actually on his podcast, we were talking about something called exoteric motivation, or like exoteric feeling. You know what that means?
When you let me break this down.
This marine ingenuity.
When you
or
No, I
it
don't
could
know.
be like esoteric. So esoteric just means it's exactly what you just explained. It's how you and I believe in terms of training.
Okay.
Only a certain few people understand that concept. So esoteric just means understanding something in a special way.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
exactly like with the
Okay.
DIY. If you really like
Yeah.
DIY, only you can understand how to do DIY and love it, because it's like we don't like DIY all the time,
Okay.
or I don't know, like
Okay.
gardening, that
I
kind
can
of
see
stuff.
that. And,
Finding the pleasure in a certain thing,
and that's why fitness is just like those
because not
folks-
everyone likes fitness.
Yeah, not everybody likes fitness, so not everybody likes what you get from the fitness. A lot of folks don't like spending the time to go to the gym.
Yeah.
You know.
The dedication.
But it's many factors, and it's like honestly it's endless reasons and factors and excuses as to why I like everything about it and others hate everything about it.
Yeah.
You know. And it's like careers. You're gonna be at a point where, or you may not, where you're at a job where you have to go because you're getting the check.
Right.
You have to go because you got to pay the bills. But
Right.
you don't find that passion there. So because you don't feel passionate about that job, you're gonna hate going there every damn day.
Right.
Okay. I don't hate going to the gym. Okay. I find my passion there, so I'm gonna make it there, and my positive energy and feels that I bring towards that, it's gonna explode. I'm gonna benefit from that. Versus you come in shitty, it affects your body, your motivation, your push. You're gonna get back exactly what you put in.
Right.
So those folks who, I don't know, those painters, people who like to paint, I can learn a lot from them, because everybody has their expertise. Everybody has what their
niche,
what they like to do. If life wasn't set up that way,
yeah,
then we would never be able to help one another out.
True,
because everybody would have the same common knowledge. Yeah, so everyone would be to themselves.
This is still a part of me that always thinks of like back in the industrialization stage, like or phase, like how people, if you're good at making or like carving wood, you're the what's that, wood shop guy, carpenter? No, the carpenter. Is that carpenter? No,
the wood hacker.
The wood hacker, and then you give it to the guy who likes to put things together, who likes to nail things, and then you give it to the guy who likes to paint things, and then there you go, you made a chair, something like that.
And there's a system, and that's why when people come at you and say, sometimes, I'm one of the guys, look, I bought a new car, I'm going to take it to the dealership to let them handle it. If it's something minor and small that maybe I could probably do, I'm going to do it. But I'm not going to do
oil change.
I'm not going to go out of my way to find somebody who can do it. The quality of them doing it, do I trust them? There's so many things that I have to now think about.
Yeah.
On top of a busy life and doing this and doing that, then just taking them to the right people who are supposed to know what they're doing. And if they end up, screwing me over, at least I have, some law there on my side and I can handle things accordingly. But the point of that is, people ask me, why do I pay others to do something that I could probably do? Because that's their job. That's not my job to do something, It's
I think more about time.
Well, it's also the convenience.
Convenience
after
time.
You go to the convenience and time, and
that's how people can upscale or up price.
Yeah, when I'm broke, I'm gonna look for a deal here. But then when I'm not as broke and now I'm lacking on time,
it's either you're paying for time, convenience, or expertise and knowledge. Because like you could probably learn how to change oil or fix.
See, but that's the key.
Like
I could probably learn.
Yeah.
Do I want to learn? I really don't fucking care.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I really don't care.
Time and convenience.
I really don't care.
And education.
Now, do I want to go get a second lift in the day? I'm like, hell yeah.
There you go.
But do I want to learn how to change oil change? I mean, or do I want to sit here and plan, when I'm going to eat next week, work out on next week, Probably not.
Yeah.
But I myself chose what I want to do and what I won't be doing. What I want to learn, what I won't learn.
It's almost like creating your own lifestyle. Create your life. Create your own life. Take control of your life.
Correct.
That's
so
the thing.
all those people that say, hey, you know, I really want this, I really want that. I'm going to cater to it because I got to give you that chance. I got to give you that opportunity. I mean, who am I going to be to sit over here and preach this, preach that, and then you come at me and, you know what, I could have had that conversation that fucking just woke up that force within you, and you're just like, you know what, tomorrow's day one. I've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. Often, honestly, not that much. You know, and then there's the other, you know, maybe 70% where, you know, we get a workout together or I send you a plan and then this happened, that happened, this happened. I'm going to start again, you know, next month. And am I going to cater to you as much this second time, third time around? Probably not as much.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to try to help you out. I'm still going to try to give you knowledge. But I can't bring this full service to you
If you're gonna half-ass it,
because it's not my job and it's more of a hobby. So I just want to share that knowledge that I have with you, hoping that I give you the knowledge that works for me, the knowledge that I utilize, the knowledge that I went through trial and error,
right?
And I saw it work for me, so I know and I can legitimately say, hey, try this.
Right.
So then you don't have to go, you know, scrolling through hours, trying to do this, trying to do that, and trying to figure out what you want to do. I'm giving you what worked for me.
Yeah.
So feel it out, see how you like it, and you know, go with it. But then when I give you knowledge and you don't utilize that knowledge,
yeah,
or I tell you one thing and exactly 2 minutes later, you go do something different. I'm like, what the? Which happens all the time. I remember people coming up to me at the gym and saying, hey, you know, how do you work on, you know, your shoulders? You know, what do you do for chest? And I tell them.
Yeah.
And then they did not hear anything I said.
Yeah.
And do the exact opposite. You know, sometimes it's a hearing thing. Sometimes it's a learning thing.
I personally thought, like, for me, like, the one big thing I learned in the Marine Corps, I think the big reason why I like started the podcast too, is like about mentorship. So when I try to teach my junior Marines how to do things, I kind of go to the point of teaching them how to learn versus teaching them what I did to get whatever I did. Because for me, and it comes to like powerlifting, it's like I could tell them to do the same things that I did, but it's not going to work for everybody. If I tell them, yeah, I Googled this, I Googled like powerlifting rules, I Googled how to work out, I Googled exercises that I can do, and then I spent years trying to pick out what works best for me, and then once I saw I was close to a goal already, like breaking records, boom, I just got to push myself a little bit harder and then try to go a little bit more in depth. One thing that I wanted to say too was I started reading this book called the 80-20 Principle, and it basically says that 80% of the work that we've done will do in success will basically come from 20% of work. And like with that being said, it's like most people think of doing everything 100%, but then that's perfection. Everyone shoots for perfection, and then they kind of get lost in the sauce because it's like everyone's perfect, but then they don't want to make any mistakes. But 80% is perfectly good as well. Like in terms of like a B, like you get the job done, and then that really happens if you can just do that little bit of research and take action. That 20% of just research, action, get the ball rolling. Then you'll automatically, I'm not going to say automatically, but you're more likely to hit 80% if you shoot for that.
Right.
Kind of like setting your goals low.
You open up those possibilities.
Right. Rather than
rolling through instead of sitting there as like a rock or a stump and not progressing forward.
Right.
80% forward
is better than zero.
Is better than zero, or in fact going in reverse, going the opposite way.
Oh yeah, or just going.
Completely.
How you go reverse? Unless you just eat a lot and not work
out
anymore. Well, okay, no, actually that's a good example because once you start overthinking things, then you kind of just stop working out and you just sit and like plan, but you never do anything. I think that would be worse.
But then you have those people that
or you get stressed.
That will lose 20 pounds, be ecstatic, be this, be that, because they busted their ass for, so many weeks, so many months, and then they go back and gain it again.
Yeah.
Because
I think another rule to that is that what gets you one time to succeed doesn't mean it's going to happen again and again.
Doesn't mean it's going to happen again, but
right.
Did you do it because... Why did you do it?
Yes. Okay, that's another part. It's purpose over passion to me. That's another concept that I like to teach. Because once you know your purpose versus your passion, to me, I think of passion as a short-term goal. I think I wrote an article about this, actually. This is like happiness over pleasure. Okay. It's interesting because,
True.
When I think of pleasure, for me, I think like sex.
Okay.
When you have sex, you always kind of want more. Okay. And then when you think of something like happiness, of like having a family and stuff like that, it's forever. Like you can't want more family unless you just want to make a bigger family, but that's a different scenario. But that's the kind of thing that I want to preach. Even though like pleasure and happiness are the same thing.
What is the definition of pleasure? So
I don't know.
Now I'm curious because you say family is long term. So pleasure is pleasure something? Is pleasure more of a short term?
We can find out. You look up pleasure. I'll look up happiness. Short intermission, and then happiness definition. What's the definition of pleasure?
A feeling of happy satisfaction and enjoyment.
A feeling.
So
okay.
It's a feeling, so that's not permanent.
Right.
Okay, so again, that goes to say the commitment. A lot of folks don't want to commit to a longer term things, which is why they're quicker to go towards the pleasure.
Right.
They want that instant satisfaction, that instant feeling of things.
Instant gratification. And to counter that, happiness, the definition of happiness is the state of being happy.
Okay, so
it's basically the same thing, but the state is meaning you're there already.
A state means you're there.
Right.
Versus a feeling.
Feelings can change instantly.
Right. So that goes to say, like, a lot of people want things then and there.
Right.
Okay. So
everybody wants that feeling.
They gotta be at the gym, 5 days a week, 20 days out of the month.
Right.
They're not gonna want to do it.
Yeah.
Because 1 week goes by, I didn't really see anything. 2 weeks go by, I feel a little difference, but it's what can I do?
You're trying to get that feeling.
So they want that, and I say, like, I tell people all the time, we live in a fast food world.
Yeah.
And by fast food world, I mean people want things right then and right there. They don't want to put the time or invest the time to wait for what's coming in the longer scheme of things. They want things right then and there.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times people fail because they get a strong push. I give them this hell of a talk, hell of a speech, give them hell of knowledge, and then they, go use this however long it lasts for them, and then they just come right back and it's like, it didn't work for me. But in all honesty, how much of that 100% or that 80% or that, how much of that push in the right direction did you really give it? I mean, did you really give it everything? Or did you really want to commit to the things where, if you're asking for a 3-month plan, are you more likely to stick to something I tell you is a 3-month plan?
Yeah. Or
if I tell you this is what you're gonna do, and just stay consistent with this. Mm-hmm. But I don't tell you it's a 3-month plan.
Okay. And then.
So then that way, if I tell you it's a 3-month plan, you're gonna sit there and be like, okay, wow. So I'm gonna have to wait 3 months to see what's gonna come out of it.
Yeah.
Or I just tell you, go ahead and do this, and keep seeing the results come up. She's gonna see me.
Oh. Okay. You want to wrap it up or no?
No. We don't have to look it up.
Okay. Well, I guess. Well, speaking on that, it's Damn, I kind of lost it. I was gonna say something before
Well,
that.
being with going back to the fast food world.
Yeah.
It also has to do with food. You know, and
McDonald's is fast.
and I'm one of them. Like
We're always
I
on the
can
go.
give you advice. I can give you this, but I'm not gonna tell you, hey, go do this or preach something that I don't do.
Yeah.
Because like my biggest things was look, fitness. Like I'm all about the training.
Right.
And then food. As long as I have lived, as long as anybody has known me,
Yeah.
yo, I eat. Like this motherfucker right here, I eat.
Yeah.
Even when I'm my last comp, like a week, 2 weeks out, like my go-tos every week, I had to have either pho or and pizza. Like it had to. Chipotle was in the top
5, 3.
I want to say it was in the top 3, but I'd rather have pho on my Sundays and I'd rather have and pizza whenever the hell I want and pizza. Like it was just like it's something that
I like chicken.
I wanted. See, chicken was alright, but
I like fried
get enough chicken during
Popeyes.
my diet. No,
Ah.
Popeyes.
Yeah, for me, I'm either Popeyes or some type of like Korean barbecue type of thing.
Or Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
With that. See, so but then that okay.
Steak.
So going with that, that was always my downside. You know, I'm gonna go get this heavy lifting. I'm gonna go get this excellent lifting, like get a massive pump. Like I'm gonna feel amazing after this workout.
Yeah.
But then, eating wise, I don't always make the correct decisions. And honestly, because I still live a pretty damn busy life, and especially now being a father, like that really, really changes everything now. You know, I'm that much lazier. You know, I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna spend time with my daughter. You know, if I sit down, you know, before I could sit down by myself and I'll be like, I'm doing nothing with my time right now.
Right.
I'm gonna get up and do something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get up and be productive. You know, when nobody else is around. You know, when I live by myself.
Yeah.
But then now that I have a daughter, it's like, oh, now I'm sitting here doing nothing.
But then you're like,
But my daughter's here, so
Yeah.
that's cool. So, like, 3 hours go by, I'm like, oh, there goes meal prep. Like, so, and I'm one of those that I'm not gonna sit here and make an excuse and say, hey, I didn't achieve this goal that I wanted because of this and this and this. I'm gonna tell you, you know, fuck it. Like, you know, I'm honestly freestyling, and you know, if I really want to do something, I'm gonna do it. If I don't want to do something, you know, don't have my heart set in it, then you know, it is gonna be it is what it is for the time being. But I don't have that perfect, and honestly, I didn't really start my whole journey until about 2015.
2 years ago. It's 2017. Or no, it's 3 years ago. Yeah,
So
we're 2018.
So I'm 3 years in, and you know, I definitely 2018. I'm telling these guys, like, I have a lot planned for this year, but because of work, because you know, being new to the fatherhood, and kind of this mortgage and just a lot of things going on, like, there's a lot more responsibilities, a lot more priorities that I can honestly say, yeah, I want to go freaking hit a chest day, but is it more important than my daughter?
Yeah. Priorities.
Oh, priorities. Like no, like it's a passion, it's a hobby, but I have things that I have to do, and I'm not going to let it be an excuse, but I'm also not going to let it be the reason
that you don't get the real things done.
That I, you know, won't let the results speak for themselves. You know,
I think that'd be the perfect title for this. It'd be like marine bodybuilding damn, fuck it. I lost it. It's like understanding your priorities. Either understanding your priorities or like making liabilities or not.
Well, it's understanding the priorities that you have and maximizing the balance.
Yeah.
You have to find that balance.
Ah, yes. I was reading a book on this, actually.
So you have to find that balance, because if you don't find that balance, like, you're going to be going all over the place. So although sometimes I feel like my life is all over the place, I'm wrong, because I have some organization. I have some balance. I have a routine, if you can say.
Right.
You know, no matter how chaotic things can be, there is a routine, and
This keeps getting on other things.
I wake up, I work my 12, 14-hour days, and then the routine, I go by routine.
Yeah.
I go to the gym. I hit my 1 hour lift.
Yeah.
Whatever day, whatever part I'm working, and then I'll go home and I'll have my cool down for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Spend my time with my daughter. Just kind of spend time home with the family and kind of see what's going on in life, I guess you can say.
Yeah, you can. So another thing that I want to bring up is like creating a system instead of creating like order. Like you got to do this, do this, do this, do this. You have more of a system, so you know what's gonna happen. Like you kind of plan out your day, but not plan out your day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I have to hang out with my daughter sometime today. I gotta work out sometime today. I'm gonna be at work during this time. I know it's all gonna happen, but I don't know when. But just be ready to make sure those shit get happen because that's your priorities.
Yeah.
That's like the like down to earth, broken down. That's the fundamentals of the system.
Yeah,
make sure you get your priorities set.
You have your system. You have your priorities that have to go in place.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can tell myself, you know what? I'm tired, or hey, I'm not doing this. But you're gonna have those naysayers.
Yeah.
Or those people is like, oh, you should be spending more time with your daughter, or you should be spending more time at home with family, or.
Yeah.
You can't revolve around the gym in life. Like,
right.
It's not you. Okay, but when you put things in perspective, I spend 1 hour a day in the gym.
Yeah.
And that's maybe I do 6 sessions a week. So we're talking about 6 hours
in a week. So it's like 1 hour,
6 hours,
in a 24-hour day.
You're telling me I spend too much time in the gym.
Yeah.
But 6 hours, a whole week. And okay,
it's funny. I was reading this. So Aristotle said, or Aristotle was a big, what's the word? Advocate of. He calls this the golden mean. It just means to find like your balance between two things. Like you would think that everyone thinks that you're like a super meathead fitness. Like you're on this extreme. When you see it, you're right here. You're golden.
Yeah.
Like you don't spend. Like I know guys who come to the gym and like they're there for like hours, like 2 to 3 hours, and they almost treat it like a lounge.
No, I used to be there, and I think my time was like 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours.
But then at that time you didn't have your daughter, so it was you didn't really have like
right. I had more time.
Right, you had more time. I was also
unemployed at that time too.
When you're unemployed, you have time, so you can work out.
So I had time, but see, I had the time, and I chose what to do with my time.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think I'd rather have the busy life than have the open time.
Right. Because I feel the same way.
When I feel like you get become more productive.
You feel more fulfilled because you get more shit done.
Efficiency is there, and when I have all day, I'm gonna wake up. I want to hit the gym.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have breakfast, and I'm still like, what else? What else do I do? Like,
this is before.
Yeah.
Like,
what else do I do? So
when I was working at the running store, I was the same way. I was like, I have a day off today. I'm gonna go to the gym, but then I come home and like, I don't know, the rest of the day to think about.
So I'll be like, damn, and especially like come from the military, come from being awake,
always
so early,
busy and
with work and everything. Like I days off or not, I still have that mental alarm.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get up, 6, and I try to push it. But like, I'm off.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go to sleep. Wake up at 7. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, try again. Wake up at 7:30. I'm like, okay, well, I slept in a little bit, but honestly, I think for me, 25 was that number. After 25, like I started seeing a noticeable difference.
Yeah.
So I still have my periodic times where I wake up.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where.
Did you say you wake up through the night? Or
lately, honestly,
I don't wake up.
I haven't been.
I never had that issue. I wake up with the sun. My only issue when I'm waking up now is when it's cold. When it's cold, I have a hard time getting out of bed. But once daylight savings time comes and then we like get an extra hour, I'm pretty good because sun comes up at like 5, I think 6.
I've never I never really had any factors that would keep me up. The only thing that I had, this was like, I had like stresses from like life and work, especially work, that caused me to wake up during the night. And I'd wake up think I was at work.
No shit.
I one time woke up and
Because you work late, like night shifts
Yeah.
sometimes. Okay.
well, like into the night, but not actually night.
Okay.
But like I just wouldn't get as much sleep, and all that stress was getting to me. And you know, one time I was told that I woke up and like I acted like I was drawing a weapon.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn. And honestly, you know, if anybody from work sees this, I'm not as stressed out anymore from work.
Yeah. Because now you got like a supervisor role, so you're kind of like chill. No?
I kind of is chill, but I'm looking at it in a different perspective. Honestly, some of the things that go on, I'm gonna do what I have to do.
Yeah.
To complete the mission, to you know,
Get the job
make
done.
sure everybody's good, all my officers are good.
Yeah.
But if I can say, I don't care as much as I
used to
about the smaller things. I
think,
know my capacity. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know how everybody else feels, but I'm not gonna provide extra stress for something that doesn't need to be a stressor.
Right.
So once I realized that, and then everything kind of sat in,
Yeah.
and flushed out, like I'm
Golden.
cool. Like
yeah.
I'm like life is
good.
swell for me right now. Like I could say I wish this, I could have this, I wish I could have this.
Yeah.
I wish I could work a little less and make the same amount.
Yeah.
But like that's things that I don't necessarily need right now.
Right.
So I'm not gonna stress over something that it's not gonna
make a big impact.
Yeah, make a big impact. Or
I want to get into like that because I think that's exactly what I'm trying to preach in terms of the purpose over passion. So when I think of passion too, it's like that superhero complex with your ego. Okay. Like you just want to be in the action. You want to be the guy to stop whatever is going on, or you want to complete the mission as you. You want that recognition. But once you find your purpose, thinking like, okay, I need to make sure everyone's good. I need to make sure the job gets done, and that's it. You don't. I mean, not really. That's it. But then you understand like the priorities, and then you like that's it. You don't have to worry about the little things, and that's what I think about. Right. Same thing with happiness and pleasure.
The little things, you know, things are gonna happen.
Yeah. And
honestly, you have some folks, you know, at work that turn this little thing into a huge ordeal. Right. And it never had to be that way.
It's thinking about like high school gossip type of shit. Yeah. Why are you even worrying about this kind of stuff?
And once, you know, you realize that things are gonna be all right, or, you know, it's not as big a deal as it may look. Yeah. You know, it's not that you as a person don't care as much about your job, or you're not giving that same, you know, percent, that same effort towards work. Right. It's just that you learn to manipulate those.
I know what you're talking about.
That you learn to manipulate and the feelings towards that. Right. And not let it stress you, because stress is a bitch. Stress will stress you to the point where like you start to feel it in your body, you start feeling depressed. You know, it affects your sleep. Yeah. And you know, it's one of those things where you have to listen to your body, you know, and if you're going day by day, not really taking the time to listen to your body, you're not gonna pay mind to these little details that stress that stress is doing to your body. And that's why, you know, I used to really, really feel tired and sleepy, because I was waking up in the middle of the night.
We're running on like Red Bulls and 5-hour energy type stuff.
So now it's to the point where like I know if I go to sleep, I am dead. I am dead. I wake up. I probably wake up subconsciously a couple times throughout the night, but it's like I'm in a deep sleep, but I'm just like tossing and turning, but like not as big
like normal
as like getting up and actually getting out of sleep and then coming back. And like I'm sleeping good, and you know, like those days were training and work. There's days where I feel my body needs the rest. Yeah. And your body will take the rest that it's needed. That it needs. Right. You know, and you have to provide that. every now and then, because rest is just as important as getting the training in. So that's why I said I'd probably train maybe 6 days. And honestly, that 6th day, it's not really a training day. It's like a
mobility.
I'm gonna
thing.
come see what the gym guys are doing in the gym. Type thing, like,
Just being in the environment.
Yeah,
you like that support.
I'm just gonna be in the environment.
Just doing like curls. Stuff like that.
Something like I'm gonna go hit some curls, like maybe some curls, some calves, some abs. I'm just gonna do something
just so you're active that day.
Yeah, that won't necessarily like
burn you out,
burn out my body.
Yeah.
So it's like I call it like active resting.
Okay.
And I'm still resting.
I think for me, like for like powerlifting, I think of like every time I do my bench squat or squat bench deadlift, I think of it as like burning out my central nervous system, and that's like I always think about it as like your power or your energy scale in like fighting games. Yeah. It's like you burn yourself out just by like punching, or like just like doing like little motions, and then if you have for the whole week, by the end of the week you're like on red.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. So speaking of this meter. Okay. So before, when I was, not that much older, but when I was younger and, not a father, when I was more engaged in the Marine Corps and just more active, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
And all these things that influenced my fitness.
Yeah.
When I first started, I had all the energy, I was eating, I was doing this, I was doing that, like I had energy and I was brand new to this. Yeah. So that motivation was hella high.
Right.
Okay, I had this meter and my workouts, I would superset almost every set. I would do this and like, this is a full bar of health. Okay. I was getting fatigued during workouts, so then I would feel hella tired at the end of the workout.
Yeah.
But I would feel that drive, good feeling. I'm like, damn, like I'm hella high off my workout. Yeah, like I'm feeling really good. But I didn't know my health was like this low.
Yeah, you didn't know that initially.
I was fatigued, and then I go sleep for 5 hours, 3 hours, whatever it may be for the night.
Right.
And then maybe I'll only recover this much.
Yeah.
And I'll get another workout in. And I'm like,
you bring it back down.
And then bring it down your load. So I never really get back to full health, and it stays somewhat in this shorter end range because I never really give it time to heal, because I fatigue my muscles in my body to the point where it's never going to fully recover enough to grow. Yeah. So when I started reading this book, what's that book?
The Fitness Mindset?
No, not that one.
No.
I don't know what's that.
I don't know. What's the name of the book?
I think it's in my lunch bag. Stronger, leaner.
Stronger, leaner.
Wow.
You don't even remember the name.
Honestly, I haven't looked at it in like 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, you still remember the knowledge that it gave you. I'll link it somewhere in the description if you don't remember it. Did you get it on Amazon?
Yeah, I did.
There you go. Think smarter, not harder. Right?
Yeah.
Is that the phrase?
Let me see.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that I really like about reading nowadays is that it teaches you discipline to like figure out the things you actually like. At the same time, in order you to finish a book, you need to have the discipline to actually sit down and read and focus.
Yeah. Bigger, leaner, stronger.
Bigger, leaner, stronger. Who's it by?
Bigger, leaner by Michael Matthews.
Michael Matthews? Click on that. Yeah. Michael Matthews. Bigger, leaner, stronger. The simple science of building the ultimate male body. Where'd you find out about that book?
So, first, I'm not much of a reader.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being is, I don't want to say I don't have the time to read, but I never really have
prioritized
interest.
It.
Yeah.
I think it's the discipline. In order, if you really wanted to get deep into some type of knowledge or get into some type of field, you're really passionate about it when you actually read about it.
When you actually read about it. So this is one of the few things that I read about. And so the main reason I got this book, and I'm probably going to have to talk about this like on another podcast, but like over the past several years, like I went through medical stuff You know, I took breaks from my last competition, and I, becoming a father. Like I had a lot of things go on, and I didn't, when I took breaks,
Yeah.
I said, hey, you know what? This is a sign. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna refocus my thoughts and gather.
Mm-hmm.
So it got to a point where, being back in Maryland, things are going forward with work. I got a lot of things going on right now, but fitness was kind of like that girl, who's like
the hot girl in school type of thing.
No, that girl who's like you always had this really really cool connection with, who you always were like really really vibing with, and every time y'all get together, it's like a hell of a fucking good time.
But you never date her. That's not your girl.
But you never really date her. She's just that friend.
I don't know if I ever had that. Maybe Nora. I don't know.
No. This is the friend that gives you the goods.
Oh,
this is the friend that gives you the goods. That gets you in the feel in the mood. But every time
you never date her. That's
but you never date her.
Okay.
Wait. You just messed me up.
Sorry. I don't think I ever had that.
So it's like, okay, perfect. You two once had something, right?
Okay, so an ex, kind of.
Maybe you didn't necessarily date, but you had something, right?
Okay.
And you kind of got busy with life, so you had to push that priority or that to the side.
Okay.
But nothing ever really changed. You guys keep it A1. Like. Do
you still take her out? Like that kind of girl? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
I never.
You don't compare her. She's not in the same group with the other girls.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna explain that side.
Go ahead.
Okay. So this side is here. So it's like fitness. It's like I have bubbles around me, right?
Yeah.
So I had all these other bubbles kind of take their presence in life.
Okay.
So I, of course, put in priorities. I got to put family. I got to put my daughter, and then I love you, fitness, but like you're being pushed. You're still there,
right?
But you're being pushed back.
Yeah.
So that I gained weight, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take the break.
Right.
So then I felt myself staying away from the fundamentals that I trained myself on, the fundamentals that I learned, the fundamentals that got me going, and got me where I am today.
Yeah.
Because of putting it to the past, not focusing on anymore.
Yeah.
Because you have things that stray you away from what you used to do.
Right. Okay.
Or sometimes you give yourself the options and then you try something else and you never really fall back. So when they tell you fundamentals are key.
Yeah.
And my fundamentals at the beginning was reading up on articles, or not necessarily articles, but because sometimes the articles are
lies.
Yeah,
like men's health, like men's fitness,
memos and things. Reading up on things, on reading up on knowledge.
Yeah, you need something. I like the podcast format because it's very in depth. Like you don't have to all right, you just have to do crunches and then this ab movement or bicycle crunches and then just that. Like no, you need to get in depth to actually learn something.
Yeah. So I would read up on knowledge and I'd be like, I read so much in one day.
Yeah.
And I would remember nothing the next day.
Okay.
So then that's one of those fundamentals where I say, you know what, I'm going to read one thing every single day.
Digest it.
And then at the end of the week, I remember everything versus trying to jam everything in one fucking day.
Right.
Like I'm in school.
That's what I'm trying to talk about, like in terms of like discipline.
Right.
You have to understand everything that you're taking in. Same thing like when you work out and like rest.
Yeah, and it's every all these little factors that in the end all push towards the main objective, the main goal, the main mission.
Right.
And then before, I'll go work out, and now I have I've read and I've stimulated myself a little bit.
Yeah.
So now I go watch a video. Okay. I'm gonna go hit chest, and I'm gonna go watch this video. So I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do, build a plan. So when I go in the gym, I'm not necessarily now I'm gonna spend 5 or 10 minutes getting in the zone, thinking, no, I want to be in the zone by the time I get to the doors.
Yeah.
So then I maximize the time there and make that efficiency. So then it goes back to the book. So I got the book because I found this book as a principle of the fundamentals of what I need to get back on.
Okay.
So like also one of them like therapy type,
Self-help.
psychological things where I felt if I grab a book and I read through the book,
Yeah.
I'm gonna subconsciously
Do it.
bring back ideals and thoughts and my whole way of thinking about fitness.
It's creating that
and
system again.
Bring it back, creating that system again.
Remembering your system.
So
Or
I probably
creating a new
got.
system.
I honestly haven't finished the book yet
Yeah.
because, like I said, I wanted it to awaken myself.
Right.
And so I got it, and I probably got halfway through the book.
Uh-huh.
But halfway through the book,
You got
I
what you
built
needed.
so much momentum
Right.
from the book, and so much momentum that I really, really liked. And honestly, the rest of the book is like going over macros and things like that.
Stuff you don't want to
Things
know
that
about yet.
I really do. I need it? Yeah, absolutely. If I ever want to hit pro, if I ever want to do this, if I ever want to, maximize
Your
that
potential.
my potential. But am I going to get my pro card? Do I really want this?
Is that really your goal?
That's not my goal right now.
Yeah.
So therefore, may I finish that book? I probably am because it's good for me.
Right.
But I had this momentum right now, and I'm just sticking with it because my
your
strength is
goal-
going up. I'm getting leaner.
Yeah.
Like I'm liking where I'm at right now.
So
And-
yeah, exactly. So your goal is to be happy. That's the thing, type of thing.
Yeah, and
so you don't really care about that pro card or whatnot because you don't want to make that like a career or anything.
because I'm happy. Like
You want to keep this a hobby.
because I'm putting the
Work.
and I'm putting my words to action.
Mm-hmm.
But
you're doing it for you. I think that's the biggest key too. Most people try to do it like for guys. They try to do it for girls. For girls, is usually for girls because they want to look good for their friends. But I guess girls are the root cause of fitness.
And
I just realized that.
But it's like you said, you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
That's like we said earlier.
Indicator.
What
people
is
flake on themselves.
what's your reason for doing something?
Right.
My reason is because that shit makes me hella happy.
Yeah.
I want to push heavy weight, and I'm trying to get back to lean because. Man, years ago, your boy was solid. So I'm trying to get back there.
You do it for you.
So that's why I've been doing this little dad bod thing, but I'm doing it for me because I want to be there because I saw what I did back then when I was going through medical stuff, when I was going through this, when I was going through that.
Yeah.
Now that I'm a lot healthier than I was back in the day, and I feel like I have a more fulfilled life.
Yeah.
Work is going the way I want it. I have a family now, so I feel like everything in life is setting into place.
Yeah, it's going.
So now fitness is my thing where I control and nobody else has control over my fitness.
Right.
Over my goals, over
what you
my
want to do.
lifts, over what I want to do. That's my fucking playground.
Yeah.
Like I can toy with that however and which way I want. So I feel like that's my fallback.
Yeah.
So where were we going with this?
This is like creating a system, and then
so
you're being happy now. You're
So
happy
I'm
now with
creating
doing
the system,
this.
and like this book taught me to going back to that bar. It told me to you're at this health. Let yourself recover.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna work your ass off, but at the same time you're still building that recovery.
Yeah. You don't ever want to stay.
So you never get yourself low. So at the end, I still had that high. But my health bar is a lot higher.
Yeah.
And honestly,
you're healthier now, basically.
I'm healthier. And the other day we lifted, and like that pace, it was a slower pace. I didn't feel like I was rushing through.
Yeah.
And I was still getting that fulfilled feeling like my legs are hella sore right now.
Yeah, I feel.
I feel hella nice, but I'm not as fatigued. I'm not beating myself. I'm not rushing against the clock.
Right.
To make it work. I'm just maximizing and I'm making the most out of my lifts.
Yeah.
I'm thinking smarter. I'm not putting in more work. Because it won't do anything now. And this momentum honestly pushed me really, really far. Yeah. Thank you, Mama.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it'd be a good time to wrap it up too.
Oh, yeah.
I always try to bring if anybody wants to talk to you, where can they find you? IG or anything? You want to shout that
You can hit
out?
me up on IG. It's what's my IG? Is it Mr. Happy Feet or the Mr. Happy Feet?
Mr.
My
Happy
IG
Feet.
is Mr. Happy Feet.
Okay, I'll put it in some type of description.
Yeah, go ahead, hit me up there. I usually respond. Lately, I've been a lot better. I went MIA for a long time.
Get away from the social media.
Yeah,
Get away from
that's
the world.
another thing we'll talk about next time.
We can do
just
that next
get
time.
away because that's distractions.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you scroll, you're like, it's like anything, any these apps. You start scrolling and you end up scrolling for like an hour.
Damn.
And when do you do that? In bed.
At night, yeah.
And then that takes away from what?
Sleep.
Sleep.
Yeah.
And you're like 2 hours in. Oh, fuck, I feel tired. I didn't sleep. Well, you were in bed at the right time. So you can hit me up on social media, and I usually respond fairly quick.
At Mr. Happy
yeah,
Feet.
at Mr. Happy Feet.
And then, yeah, that's a wrap up. If you want to support the podcast, you get some merch at Sumoliftsapparel.com. You get yourself a nice little sweater. He's not wearing the shorts or whatever, or the joggers.
No joggers today.
But, yeah, you'll find it there. And until next time, later.
Deuces. I need this girl to sleep.